What's going on, guys? K-Pan here and welcome back. And in this video, I'll be featuring some meta titans of the past that the Scroll Cup has so generously brought back. Skuntank Safe Swap to bait out those ground types, surprise them with Trailblaze, and then flip Switch or get Shield Advantage. Lantern Closer on Spark, of which, let's be honest, should not be as good as it is with its pacing, but its typing and coverage is just too good in this meta. And then a new meta titan of the present, Jellicent, to hard answer those ground types and fighters. This team has been nothing but steady climbs that gives you a good dose of fun while using both new and old school mods. And with that, let's get right into the battles. All right, getting to the first matchup, really Jellicent into Primeape. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is a very good matchup for Jellicent on even shields in 0 or 1 shield scenarios, as long as it's not a 2 shield scenario, because if both you and your opponent throw your charge moves on good timing, they will actually get to a Rage Fist on the CMP tie to your Surf when shields are down that will KO you. So if that happens, you will just swap and catch the Rage Fist onto the Skuntank, preserving your Jellicent and all that energy. But as you'll see here, my opponent throws on suboptimal timing. They only go 2 Karate Chops and then the Rage Fist. And in doing so, that allows me to outpace to the Surf by a singular turn, take out the Primeape, and then flip Switch, or get Switch in that instance. Here, I stay in, go for the Shadow Ball because Jellicent is very bulky. It will be able to survive that Hydro Cannon, hang on, land the Shadow Ball, and now I'm going to pivot out into Skuntank, preserving the Jellicent for potential catch. And with the Blastoise this low, I don't really care about Switch Advantage anyways, because I'm either going to get a farm down, which I do here, and leave a ton of energy, or they're going to pivot out and the Blastoise will end up on my Lantern. But here they come in Jellicent and the game's just over. We land 1 crunch, massive damage onto the Jellicent, and then we land a second and take it out. GG's. Next battle, we lead Jellicent into Quagsire. This is exactly where we want to see the Quagsire, so this is a great lead for us, and it looks like they're staying in. So if they're staying in, we're just going to play it out ourselves. They throw out after only 6, which is on alignment. Fortunately, not great timing for them, but therefore only being 6, we know it's not a Stone Edge and we can let it go. If it's a Shadow Quag and they build up to the Stone Edge, I would shield the Stone Edge just because it does a lot of damage. Non-Shadow Quag, I would not shield it. Here they safe swap into Azu, and we have a fantastic answer. Look at Skuntank, lands that Trailblaze, farms all the way down, leaves us so much energy, so that if they come back in Quagsire, guess what? This Quagsire is going to have to shield. Otherwise, it's going to get absolutely obliterated by the Trailblaze, which they do. I'm hoping I can reach another move, but I go down with it. And that's a little unfortunate, but it's okay, because we have all of this stored energy on our Jellicent here. You see they land a Stone Edge, swap it in Brionne. We're going to go for 1 Shadow Ball. We have a second Shadow Ball banked, which we're going to go hold on to, because we can easily just swap into Lantern and Spark down the Brionne. We're not worried about the Disarming Voice or Aqua Jet it throws. We're worried about the Mud Bombs that the Quagsire would throw. So that's what we're saving our shields for. We're going to go for Surf number 1. Does not get a shield. And we're going to go for Surf number 2. And this will either get the shield from the Quagsire or knock it out, of which if it knocks out, I can just stay in, let my Lantern go, and then throw the move that I have stored onto my Jelly. Jelly comes in, lands the Surf, down goes the Quag, and we get a little bit of a 2 shield flex there as well. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Lokix. Terrible lead for us, so we're going to pivot into that Skuntank. My opponent does, and they bring in Gastrodon, and this is exactly why we're running Trailblaze. Do you think they know? I don't think they know. I think this Trailblaze is going to land. Trailblaze, massive damage. 1 more Poison Jab takes out the Gastrodon, and just like that, we flip Switch. Because who knows what moveset Skuntank runs other than Crunch. It used to run Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower back in the day, but Trailblaze? Nobody knows Trailblaze. It's not around anymore. And even if they do, and they shield the Trailblaze, then guess what? You will reach a second Trailblaze before the Gastrodon farms you down, which is why I kind of recommend the non-Shadow Skuntank as opposed to the Shadow Skuntank, because you won't be able to reach 2 Trailblazes. But they showed that first Trailblaze. You showed a body slam in return, And now you force both shields from your opponent or flip switch. And if you force both shields, in comes Jellicent, and Jellicent takes the standard moveset of Gastrodon, the Body Slam Water Pulse, and you're in a great spot. GG's to my opponent in that matchup. Next battle, Jellicent to Toxapex, fantastic lead, and not just a fantastic lead, fantastic mon for this entire team to see. Now they pivot into a Kingdra. I do not have a good response to this, so I'm going to build up to the Shadow Ball, bait with the Surf, because Kingdra love to shield, and then whether they let it go or they shield it, I'm going to pivot to my Skuntank. This is a non-shadow, so I do let it go, knowing I can tank that Outrage, get to a move to force their final shield, and now with their final shield down, we're good, because like I said, that Toxapex is nowhere to go. So that's why I was fine giving up switching that mid game, because Lantern would just end up on the Toxapex, or would end up on Toxapex anyways. But here they don't want to give up a farm down, end up pivoting to Toxapex. So that makes me think that they're ABA weak to the Jellicent then. But either way, if they're ABA weak to the Jellicent, then that third Mon is going to be somewhat soft and at the very worst neutral into Lantern. So I'm all good here. In comes Kingdra, and we're just going to spark this down. This is only a Swift, so I do not need to respect it with the shield. And we do get the spark down, see what they have in back. Opponent's waiting out the clock, and who knows, we're not going to see it, as they do end up conceding. GG's. Next battle, Jellicent into Lucario, another great lead for us. See what my opponent wants to do. They swap into Sableye, and I'm a little late on the swap, but that's fine, because against the Sableye save swap, that's as late as you could be to still have this be a positive matchup. Now my opponent builds up to Return, which I did want to respect, and it ends up being a Dazzling Gleam, so either way it's a good shield. But in the mid game, against a Sableye, you will have to go down a shield, and if your lead matchup is as advantageous as that was for me, you have no problem going down a shield there. So in the Jellicent into an opposing mon lead, they safe swap Sableye. The slowest you can be is 2 hexes and then pivot into your Skuntank to still have it be a decent matchup in the mid game. Any bit more of a slower swap than that, and it's going to be a very poor mid game for the Skuntank just due to its pacing. But ideally, you'd want to throw 1 hex and then pivot into your Skuntank right away. Now they try and snipe down my Jellicent with their Galarian Moltres. I'm able to react in time. This time I'm able to react in time, luckily. We come in Lantern, and honestly, I'm just throwing right away. They play to the CMP tie with their Brave Bird, so I don't get extra energy, but that's fine, because my only lose condition here is my Lantern taking too much damage from that Galarian Moltres. So it's not able to do anything. The opponent's Sableye snipes down the Jellicent, but they're never reaching a move. So I get the farm down with Skuntank, leave with a Crunch loaded, and take out the Lucario. Well played by my opponent. GG's. All right, game to the next battle with the Jellicent into Gastrodon. Fantastic lead for us. See what we're going to want to do. Opponent swaps into Murkrow. We're quick on the counter swap, and this is exactly where we want to be. Murkrow's able to land a foul play, so we're going to load up, fire off the Surf right before they reach another foul play, and this Surf will KO if they let it go. Down goes the Murkrow, back in comes the Gastrodon, and if they're safe swapping a Murkrow, chances are that they have a Mana Buzz behind it, and if that's the case, then we're going to be in a good spot here, because Skuntank will just be able to beat it through War of Attrition with the Poison Jabs. But it's a Morpeko, and oh no, we're in a tough spot here. I shield this, and if this is an Aura Wheel, we should be good. But they bait with the Psychic's Fangs, and oh my gosh, that's an absolutely insane bait. So now here, I just need to get rid of this Morpeko. I'm not throwing a charge move. I just need to farm it down, because there it lands the Aura Wheel. I couldn't no shield that, because even then a resisted Aura Wheel would have taken out Skuntank from that health range. But I guess I needed to try, because if I was able to, because I don't get the farm down here. If I got the farm down here, I would have been fine, but the Morpeko lives on 1 HP. But I guess in that sense, because the Morpeko survived the hexes, my win con was to survive the Aura Wheel with the Skuntank. I don't know. Either way, GG's to my opponent. Next battle, Jellicent into Annihilape. They're staying in, get some energy, then pivot into Mana Buzz. And yeah, Lantern is here to shut this down, especially since it's on Air Slash. If it's on Snarl, it can get a little bit more tricky in the zero shield scenario, just due to Lantern's very slow pacing. But Air Slash, no problem at all, because we can tank that, land the Thunderbolt, tank another move, and just get a very nice Spark down all the way. Now they come in Gastrodon. I threw my move right away, expecting it to be the Ape, but either way, we're only reaching 2 moves, so it is no problem at all. Second Surf lands. Now I'm going to pivot into Jellicent because I know that Jelly's just going to win this matchup from here. They don't have an answer to my Jellicent in this end game, so Jellicent's just going to sweep, and I didn't want the Gastrodon to get up too much energy. So here I'm going to load up on energy, fire off the Surf right before they reach another Rage Fist. They call the bait, which is a nice call by them, but doesn't matter. We shield it, farm down, and from here, this game is over, where it looks like my opponent has just stopped tapping. So we do get to the Surf, opponent lets it go, and down goes the Gastrodon. GG's. Next battle, we lead Jelly into Murkrow. Terrible lead for us. Going to pivot into that Skuntank, and my opponent's going to stay in and fire off a move to take advantage of that 1 turn it takes for me to swap, as well as force massive damage or a shield. And in doing so, we will give up a shield to preserve the HP on the Skuntank. Now they come in with a Whiscash, and look at that, another Trailblaze going unshielded, and even better, we get to this crunch on the CMP tie to force that shield back. And from here, I don't need switch advantage. I can just let Skuntank go, come in with Jellicent, get up energy, and we'll be good. Just goes from the health range the Murkrow's at, 2 Surfs or 1 Surf will be able to take it out. Now they come in Gastrodon. You may think, man, Murkrow lead, Whiscash save swap, Gastrodon in the back, hard counter lead, hard counter swap, hard counter in the back. Like, might as well just top left. This game's over. No, it is definitely not, because we land 2 Surfs here into the Gastrodon, let this go, get more energy on the Jellicent, and then with proper energy management, we're just going to be able to win this hard counter game. There's 1 more Hex than the Surf, and we're going to outpace the second Hex before my opponent reaches a second foul play. So my opponent's like, you know what, I have to survive at least 1. They let it go, and that Surf KOs the Murkrow. GG's. Next battle, Gastrodon lead, great lead for us. They pivot into Malamar, and I have a good answer for it in Skuntank. Now they're most likely going to go for the foul play, since they do not want to debuff themselves the superpower yet, and they're going to see me make a mistake here. I go for the Trailblaze because I'm like, they have a Gastro lead, they're going to shield it, they're going to play for switch, but they don't. And realistically, even if they do shield it, the poison jabs do enough where I could just shield and return and play it out that way. So the much safer play, just in case they did let it go, like you saw here, is just go for the crunch, because then I wouldn't have had to give up a shield in that mid game. The good news is that I would have been able to force that shield back in return if the Gastrodon came in, but they just let it go, put it all on Toxapex, and Jellicent just able to clean up from there. GG's. Next battle, Brionne Lead. We're going to stay in for a little bit and just over farm energy. Watch them try and go for the catch, and oh no, I hit the wrong Pokemon. Skuntank would be feasting on this. I could literally just straight up farm down this Meowscarada all the way, because it runs Night Slash and Frenzy Plant. Skuntank ain't got to worry about that. The poison jab's chunk, but I hit the wrong Pokemon coming to Lantern, and somehow, like, look at that, we call the bait, we call the Night Slash, which is fantastic for us, and that allows us to actually get a shield advantage in the mid game. So now I'm not feeling too bad about it. Meowscarada leaves with a ton of energy, but what I should have done the first time, I can just come in Skuntank, soak all this energy, and we're going to be in a good spot, because here comes a Brionne. Now we're going to give up a shield to this Aqua Jet. Going to fire off this Trailblaze, and if they shield this, then we're going to catch the next Aqua Jet onto Jellicent, but they don't. They let it go. Down goes Brionne. They have a Palma in the back, So I'm going to fire off this Trailblaze, and this is just GG's. Trailblaze lands or gets the shield. It gets the final shield, so then I can combo play with the Shadow Ball from the Jellicent, which does massive damage to the Palma and takes it out. GG's. The surprise of this video, Skuntank. I threw it on the team to have some fun and surprise some Gastrodons with Trailblaze, but man, it performed a lot better than I expected. Like even in neutral situations, it was putting in work with those poison jabs chunking and its coverage. What else can I say? You guys see how strong this team is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Love to hear what you have to say. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.